This episode and others like it are made possible by the generous support of my patrons on Patreon. If you would like to help support this channel and get early access to every video, consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/CityScapes. Hi guys, CityScapes here and welcome back to Verville episode 47. On screen right now you can see what we built in the last episode, episode 46. We started building the old town right here at the waterfront, completely detailed it already, and all in all I'm super satisfied with the look of it. Today we are tackling the area you can see here in the background. We completely filled the area on the right side of this canal. So basically we're gonna finish the inner core of the old town, you could say. And this arrow here points directly where we start off today's build. Sorry, that was really short. I had to squeeze it in there. So yeah, we start off by building this little plaza right behind the church here. And what's immediately visible is that we have a lot of terrain differences here as well. So this screams for a lot of retaining walls, ploppable surface, and just some time-consuming but really fun techniques I have to use here. Maybe as a quick recap, when I built this canal in the last episode, I used node controller to make it sharp-edged, as you can see. So this canal is a vanilla asset. You're probably all familiar with that one. But the walls and so on, they look really bland with this asset. So I had to cover them all with retaining walls from Verville, you can see here. But then I had a little bit of a different idea. I found this super handy dock asset. I think it's to build dockyards and whatnot. And as you can see, this asset consists of some kind of floor as well as a stone wall, and it also includes a fence on top of it. This basically means that I could kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Didn't have to care much about a nice railing for the canal here so that people don't fall into the water, because it was already included in the stone wall with what I wanted to cover the walls of the vanilla canal, obviously. And also the little floor, you can't see it right now because I had to raise these assets just a little bit more later on. I think it's not visible in the time lapse, but yeah, when I later on raised them a little bit, they also showed a really nice cobblestone ground floor. And now you are probably wondering what the heck is that stupid window on the bottom right corner of the screen, and that's the issue I mentioned in last episode, just very briefly. So this footage you can see here is actually from a live stream. I started streaming on Twitch for a bit, just to check out if this is something I would like to do or not. And it's actually super fun. I'm gonna continue that definitely. And I think I'm gonna also make a scheduled live stream on YouTube, maybe every Sunday or something like that. And some unscheduled live streams on Twitch. That's what I thought of. But we will see how that goes. I'll keep you up to date, obviously. But yeah, as I was recording the live stream, I messed something up with my recording software, and that's why this little window is shown on the bottom right corner there. not much I could do about it, but yeah, as you saw before, I'm just gonna use it for putting some GIFs in there or whatnot, we will see. But anyway, this is gonna be a one-time thing, so don't worry, next episode is already back to normal, so don't worry about it too much. But if you would like to see me live streaming, check out my Twitch account. It's linked down in the video description, and there should also be a pop-out banner on the top right corner of the screen. And if you don't really want to switch to Twitch, just wait until I'm gonna set up the live streaming stuff for YouTube. Shouldn't be too much longer, I hope. We'll see. But yeah, let's talk about what exactly is happening on the screen right now. It's basically just plopping down a lot of these Titan Renaissance buildings everywhere. For areas like this you can see here right now, I usually used the really narrow one square building. So yeah, they are quite narrow, so I can fit them nicely into the corner here. And the only thing left to do was adjusting the roof a little bit with procedural objects, so it feels like one continuous building. Another thing you could have seen me doing before was narrowing down a lot of these streets with a node controller. These are the pedestrian priority streets made by Chameleon. They are flat on ground level, and pedestrians have priority on the whole width here, so cars or vehicles in general, they have to drive very slow in here, but a pedestrian can just enjoy walking through the old town here without being disturbed too much by vehicles running around. Right now in the time-lapse I got a bit bored by just building all these city blocks from scratch, so I started copy-pasting some of these city blocks and just altered their shape a little bit to better fit into the plot of land. But in retrospect it didn't really save that much time, because I also had to change the height of a lot of these buildings because everything is on a slope in here. And quite often I didn't even make a road connection between the city blocks. I just drew a pedestrian path between them and changed the building spawn points with this Max Sergei mod. So no vehicles in these alleys, just pedestrian traffic, which is really nice to see. Right now a little bit of a detailing. I made a restaurant terrace here on top of this lower building. Made the railing with the Monaco fence, which looks amazing as always. And later on I'm gonna place some tables, chairs and umbrellas on top of it to really capture the look of a restaurant. Of course I also needed a lot of stairs to cope with difficult terrain in here. And as usual I made them functional with invisible pedestrian path. So right now we jump to the main street that's going along the lakeside. I needed to do some traffic management here, as well as deciding on a road asset to use in this place here. And to keep it kind of consistent, I used the same tram road that has this parking included. But I didn't want to have parking everywhere, so what I did was I just used intersection marking tool and made a pavement filler to cover up the unused space that would otherwise be used for parking. So I think this turned out quite good. It's actually amazing what you can do with intersection marking tool, basically making your own road types almost. Yeah, and for along this main road here, it was a bit tricky to find the right buildings to use here. But since I built all of this stuff here on a live stream, I had some really cool help from all the people watching the stream, especially Verumpositor was of great help here. Because as a historian, he could tell me exactly what type of building would make sense in here. So to fade out the really old core of the old town, I went for a mix between Renaissance and so-called Jugendstil houses. This 45-degree corner building fitted in here absolutely perfectly. That's amazing. And yeah, just as I said, along the main street, having some newer buildings than just Renaissance stuff. Because there probably would have been the old city wall there, which had been removed at some point, and of course they wanted to use that real estate for more buildings. That's why there are no more Renaissance buildings in that place. And right now we are building on the place that's eventually becoming the thumbnail for this episode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the thumbnail. We'll see. So as another city entrance here, I used this clock tower. I think it's made by Titan. Pretty sure it's made by Titan. It has this little tunnel here, which I could use perfectly as a pedestrian walkthrough. And Hitsu, which is also a City Skylines player and watches a lot of my live streams. He's almost always there. Thank you for your support, Hitsu. He had the amazing idea to use this park life path here as a bridge and then altering the shape a little bit with node controller to make it more narrow and slightly curved. And this also just fitted perfectly. Thank you so much for that tip again, Hitsu. Yeah, I feel like it's super handy sometimes to have the live streams because of all the great ideas you guys have. Really enriches the experience of playing this game, at least in my opinion. Yeah, and here I tried to squeeze in these cafes under the bridge a little bit, but they were just slightly too tall. So later on I changed the cafe here for a bar asset that also fitted underneath this bridge. I think that's yeah, you will see that the latest in the cinematics. That looks really nice as well. And here, the usual trick with these dock assets. I think now you can see what I meant with the floor as well. I think I'm gonna raise them up ever so slightly in just a second here, or maybe not. Yeah, anyway, they are super easy to handle and I could fit them perfectly into the shape here. Yeah, just all in all a very handy asset for this use case. And for this little crazy corner here, I had to completely butcher one of these Baroque buildings from Titan, turned them into PO, and had to alter their shape quite a bit. But in the end, I could build a perfectly fitting city block in this little corner here, which I think it is pretty cool to see. So this right now is a pretty big jump in time, I think. Off camera, I completely covered the old town in these cobblestone decals. This took absolutely forever. It was a really big task to do, especially with cutting off the shape a bit at every border of the old town, as you can see me doing right here. But yeah, the cobblestone decals, they were absolutely necessary. They really emphasized the feeling of a old town, I think. Since this little tram road is slightly going uphill, I had to fit stairs somehow in there to hide the terrain glitches. It was more difficult than it looked like, but I managed to pull it off in the end. Yeah, and now we are working in this plaza area here with the Peter Bar building in the background there. A super nice looking asset, and all in all just a very nice place here. Not sure yet, I haven't done the thumbnail yet, so maybe this could also be a candidate for a thumbnail. We will see. Maybe you realize also right now why I used those flat pedestrian roads all over the old town. Because now with the cobblestone assets, or decals, whatever, I could perfectly cover all the surface area in here without having to bother with a crazy curb everywhere and whatnot. So yeah, that was the reason behind it. Along this row of houses here goes the main street. That's also going straight through this other city gate, city tower there. It's also made by Titan, if I'm not mistaken. And I just placed some of these market stalls along that road as well. I was thinking maybe these are kind of some tourist trap, you know, tourist souvenir stuff that sell those postcards and whatnot. Yeah, just decorated it a bit with planters, trees, and later on also a lot of street lamps. Here I'm working on another idea Verumpositor had, namely to make some kind of street side cafe or just a bistro or something, not really sure how to call it. So the thinking behind it was that they removed some parking lots to have this little kiosk here, some tables, and yeah, just to grab some quick food here, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, we are right in the detailing process already. I had to shorten this episode quite a lot, because we built so many city blocks and so much repetitive stuff as well, especially though placing those decals everywhere and so on. Yeah, I cut a lot of it out, and also with the detailing, I had to trim the timeline quite a bit. If you want to see the whole detailing process and everything, you have two options. Either you can directly watch the live stream, but yeah, be prepared. It's a super duper long live stream. But you can also just tune in a little bit, watch a bit if you just want to see a certain technique or whatnot. But yeah, as mentioned, I think I mentioned it in the last episode already. I also ran a little poll here on the YouTube channel to ask if people would be interested in me uploading the live streams to YouTube as well. And I think I will give that a try. They are already available for my Patreons: Rake, Jason, James, Connor, Renee, Omar, and Max. Thank you guys so much for financially supporting this channel and therefore allow me to make commissions for custom assets, especially for my new series. But yeah, also you, dear viewers, you will get access to those live streams. I will upload them in a dedicated playlist on my channel. I will make them unlisted, except for the first live stream. I will upload the first live stream as a regular video, so everyone gets pinged and whatnot. But after that, I will just drop them day by day or so in that live stream playlist, because I don't want to ping everyone all the time just for the live stream uploads. There's going to be a lot of them, so you will have to actively look a bit out for those. Yeah, here once again, thank you guys so much for financially supporting me, my dear Patreons, especially you, Rake. You made a really generous donation to the channel. Can't really express how much I appreciate that. Really all goes back into the City Skylines community, and all of you guys will eventually get something from that, namely some custom tailored, really good looking assets, as well as this and my future series. So since I haven't completely shown all the detailing process and whatnot, I have recorded some very extensive cinematic shots. You get to see all the nice details we did on the live stream. I really hope you enjoy. I also hope you enjoyed this whole episode. As usual, if you want to see more, you can follow my Instagram account. I post photorealistic screenshots over there. But the most important thing is that if you like this video, you should definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I let you enjoy these crispy 4K cinematic shots now in silence with the nice relaxing music. And I'm really looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye guys!